Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's lesson. Let's go ahead and take a look at today's lesson objective. All right, so today we will demonstrate understanding of area and perimeter formulas by solving multi-step word problems. The TEKS we're going to cover today are 4.4H, 4.5A, 4.5C, 4.5D, and 4.4G. All right. So our word problem for today is the rectangular projection screen in the school auditorium is 5 times as long and 5 times as wide as the rectangular screen in the library. The screen in the library is 4 feet long with a perimeter of 14 feet. What is the perimeter of the screen in the auditorium? So, what is it that we want to know? So, we want to know what is the perimeter of the screen in the auditorium. So, let's take a look at what information we know about the perimeter of the screen in the auditorium. So, we know the school auditorium is 5 times as long and 5 times as wide as the rectangular screen in the library. Okay, so we know that this auditorium screen is bigger than the one in the library, but we don't know how long it is. So let's go ahead and draw. I'm going to put down an A for the auditorium. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of draw a rectangular screen right here, right? Okay, now in order to figure out how big the school auditorium is, because it's 5 times as long and 5 times as wide as the library rectangular screen, we need to figure out how big the library rectangular screen is. So the library rectangular screen, let me make that in green, it is also a rectangle, and this is not going to be drawn to the scale. I know this should be much smaller, but we know that the screen in the library is 4 feet long. And the perimeter, I'm going to put down P for perimeter, is equal to 14 feet. All right. So we got to figure out, okay, what information from the library screen can we use the auditorium? So we know that the auditorium screen is 5 times as long and 5 times as wide as the school auditorium. So we know the library screen is 4 feet long, which means if we want to solve for the auditorium, it is 5 times as long. So I can take 4 feet times 5, and that's going to give me 20 feet, right? So we know how long the auditorium screen is. Let's see if we can figure out how wide it is. So it is 5 times as wide as the library screen. But the library screen, we're not sure how wide it is, but we do know how long the perimeter is. So I know that the perimeter is 14 feet, and we can figure that out by adding up the length of our sides. So we have 4 feet plus 4 feet because it's a rectangle. So this side is 4 feet. The opposite side also has to be 4 feet. But we don't know how wide it is. But we know all of these combined together is going to give me 14 feet. So let's go ahead and make a strip diagram. So if I make a strip diagram, I know this whole portion right here is 14 feet, right? One side is 4, the other side is 4, and we don't know how much these other portions are. So 4 plus 4, we know that is 8, but we don't know how much everything else is. But let's figure out how much is left over so we can kind of figure out what the other two sides are. So if I take 14 and if I subtract that from 8, what is that going to give me? That is going to give me 6 feet, right? So I know this portion right here has to equal 6 feet. So 8 plus 6 is going to be 14. However, this is going to be the sides of both of our sides, right? Because we have two sides and they're the equal length because it's a rectangle. So I can take these 3 feet and I can divide it by 2. So I'm going to take, the 6 feet and divide it by 2, and that's going to give me 3 feet. So both my sides are going to be 3 feet. So let's check our answer. So I know if I have 4 plus 4 plus 3 plus 3, that is going to give me 14 because 4 plus 4 is 8, 3 plus 3 is 6. We combine 8 and 6, that's going to give me 14. So we know that this side is 3 feet. Now let's go back to our auditorium screen. So the auditorium is 5 times as long and 5 times as wide. So if our library is 5 times as wide as a library screen, so if our library screen is 3 feet, we have to multiply that by 5. And so that is going to give us 15 feet. Now let's go back to our question. What is the perimeter of the screen in the auditorium? Okay. Okay, so I erased some of our work so we had more room to work. So the perimeter of the screen is going to be equal to the length of the total length of all of the sides, right? So that means we have to add them all together. So the perimeter of the screen is going to be equal to 20 feet because we're looking at the auditorium. And since it's a rectangle, if this side is 20, then the other side is also 20. And then we have plus 15 feet. And then the other side also have to be 15 feet. So let's go ahead and combine together. So 20 plus 20 is 40 feet. And then 15 plus 15 is 30 feet. And then if we add 40 plus 30, that is going to give us 70 feet. So the perimeter of the screen is 70 feet. Okay, let's review today's lesson objective. So today we demonstrated understanding of area and perimeter formulas by solving multi-step real-world problems. All right, everybody. Thank y'all so much for joining me today. This was so much fun going over this lesson with you. Make sure you do your problem set and your mastery check and ask your group and your peers for any help if you need it. And I'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.